What's the word? What's the word? This your boy Landon coming from Television Talented with another banging exclusive video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I have a banger today. And today is talk about my mom is back. So I got my mom here. So mom, say hello to him.
Greetings, social media land.
That's all you got for him? You don't sound you back. You don't sound like you happy to talk to him.
Well, I am. I'm so excited to share a platform with my son on this afternoon. And I just want to say hello to everyone. My name is Joda, and I am Landon's mother. And I just thank God for doing a wonderful thing with us.
Okay, okay. That's cool. So tell them how long you been my mom for.
Well, I've been his mom for 27 years.
Okay, cool. So yeah, y'all got that. She been my mom for 27 years. So, she had to think about it for a minute. So you forgot how long you been my mom for? What dang? I'm a forgettable person now, huh?
Not at all, not at all.
Well, I'm just saying, that's just how you making it seem like I'm just a forgettable person.
Oh, it wasn't done intentionally, no pun intended. But anywho, I've been his mom for 27 years, and I've been out his life for several years now. But I thank God for allowing us to rekindle our relationship. It, it has not always been peaches and cream between us, but I can say that he is one of my favorite out the four boys I have, and not just because he was my first. It's just because of a bond that God put between both of us. His childhood wasn't always bittersweet. He was always a mischievous child since birth, and I always knew that he was gonna be special, even when he was in my womb. I can recall being pregnant with him, and he used to kick me so hard, like he was just angry. Even when he kicked me, you can just see his foot, just kicking through my shirt and everything. And so after I had him, I can remember that when the doctors took him out my womb, they was making such a big deal because he came with his eyes wide open. And I remember my auntie that was there with me. She was telling me that his eyes was wide open as if he knew what he was looking at. And so, that always stuck to me because I heard old people say that when a child is born with their eyes open, that they gonna grow up being full of wisdom and knowledge. And sure enough, I can remember when we was younger, when I taught him how to write his name, I taught him how to color, I taught him how to rap. And when he was like in elementary school, we always used to have like competitions and who can be the best dancer, who can be the best colorer.
Hey, you better stop because I can pow, pop lock. I got the moves like that. So that's just the gist of where we came from. So the questions I have for you. So the time that we wasn't in your life, how did it affect you? Because I know how it affect me. But I'm gonna ask you this question first, and then you answer, or I can go first, and then you know how it affected me, or however you want to do it. But the question is, when we were separated for those years, how did it affect us?
Well, as a mother who loves her kids.
No. You see, you talking like a white lady on the TV right now. No, we want the raw. Damn it, we want the real feelings. Don't sugarcoat how it affect you, because this is reconciliation right now.
This is my truth. Like I said,
we want the raw. We want the true feelings. We want the Christian curse words right now.
Damn me.
Right.
Like I said,
okay,
as a mother who loves her children, I'm kind of emotional right now. And for your kids to be taken away from you, it hurts. I wasn't the best mom, but I was the best mom that I knew how to be.
So wait a minute. What's the best mom?
The best mom is making sure that your children was well taken care of, that they had a roof over their head, clothes on their back, food to eat, that they...
Okay, but I'm going to have to pause you, though, because did you cook for us?
I did.
Did you keep us clothed?
I did.
Did you keep us bathed?
I did.
Did you pay bills at the house, keep your forehead?
Did.
So why are you discrediting yourself as a good mom?
I said that because of the circumstances.
But no, the circumstances is you said I want to be the best mom I could be, and the best mom, I asked you what's a good mom. You said cooking, cleaning, roof over the head, providing. But so I just asked you those same questions. Did you do that?
I did do that. And I made sure that my kids was rooted in the word of God.
But you jumping the gun though. You still ain't answered that question. Did you provide for us the best of your ability?
I did.
So how's that making you a bad mom?
I said that I was the best mom that I knew how to be.
That's not what you said.
What did I say?
You said I was trying to be the best mom I knew how to be. Then I said, what is a good mom? And you said a good mom was those things I just listed.
Well, you interrupted me. The reason why I said that because I lost my mom at a young age. So I didn't have a mother figure after a certain age. So everything that I knew as a mother, I had to rely back on my childhood, and then I had to use godly wisdom. So that's why I said what I said.
Okay. Now that makes more sense on what you're trying to say of what a good mother would be. So that's still not explaining how it affects you.
Well, I couldn't just jump in. I had to give the people a little background.
Okay.
And so, but how it affected me, okay, this what happened. Went through a bitter divorce, and my kids wind up being with their dad.
Okay.
And so, while they was with their dad, I could not contact them unless it was on his terms. I could not call their school because their dad told the school to not give me information on my kids. I couldn't go to no football games, no basketball games, or none of their activities. So it made me feel bitter for many years. It made me feel as if I did something wrong. It made me feel less than a mother when God knew that I was a great mother to my kids, not just them, but the kids in our neighborhood. And so to have them taken away because of the other parent was bitter, it hurted for many years. But as a praying mother, I knew one day that God would allow my kids to be back in my life. It was many times I cried and I asked myself, Lord, what did I do to deserve this? Did I spank my kids? No. Should I have? That's yes. I try to get them the best education. Everything I thought I was doing right, it blew up in my face. So to have your kids in your life for 12 years and not being able to see them go to middle school, to graduate from high school, and to get awards for being on honor roll, not to share prom, it hurted. Even when my oldest son started having his kids, when he had his first child, I wasn't there to even see my first grandbaby being born. So yes, I was a bitter, angry black woman for many years. But I knew the faith I had in God. I knew that he was going to see about me. He didn't leave me in the dark, like some of my family did. Just to hear my kids' voice. I missed that. I only just had one picture of them. And that's when they was little, even before they went to school. And that, I had to just replay memories. And I always said, Lord, let me just live long enough so my kids to be back, to come back into my life. And so I was hurt. I was mad. I was angry. I cried all the time. And even when people told me that God is going to let your kids come back one day. I believed it as far as I can see it.
Okay, so we hearing your testimony right now. So after people trying to keep you on the path of God, telling you that we's gonna come back in your life, but since you couldn't see it, you start losing faith for a period of time, correct?
Correct. And what happened, I had to program my mind and tell myself, you know what? I'm going to have to be my own medicine by saying, you know, if my kids want to come back, I'm going to welcome them back. But then at the same time, I had to say if they don't want to be in my life, I'd have to just get through it and get over it. But I knew I know what God's words say, that he won't never leave you nor forsake you, that I am more than the world against you. So I had to rely on scripture, that I knew one day that my kids would be back in my life.
So what was harder, us not being there or us coming back? Which one you had a harder time embracing, us being gone or us being back?
My hard time was when you all was out my life, because I didn't get to share certain things with you all, because I knew once y'all got back, I'd had a lifetime, all of you all adult life to all of my adult life to share with you all. The most important thing that I missed was when y'all was growing up. You know, when y'all had y'all little first little girlfriend, when y'all did your little 6th grade graduation and 8th grade graduation and your high school graduation, I missed that. When y'all was playing sports, I missed that. So it was more harder on me when y'all was out my life.
Okay. Well, don't think that you's the only person who had hard times, because it affected me too.
Well, how did it affect you?
Well, it affected me in different ways. Because when I asked my daddy when my mama coming back, you know how my daddy was, stay in a child place. And living all them years with no answers, it made me angry. It made me go searching for things what I didn't know I was searching for. I tried to search for a relationship with my mom. How am I search for something through somebody else? I try to find coping mechanisms, try to replace a bond that me and you had. So that's what made me go from woman to woman, to have all these different cars, to have all the things where I felt like I had interest and stuff in, to try to replace the bond what was taken from me and never even knew why it was taken away. So a lot of the years me growing up, I hated everybody, because the person who I wanted to have a relationship with and be with, I couldn't. So it was like a lot of times when we wanted to call you on your birthday, we couldn't, because my dad wouldn't let us. So it affected me in different ways. And then it took for me to get married and become a minister in the church to have a relationship back from you. So from the age of 13 to all the way to 25 to get a relationship, I was an angry person. And when people try to say I was angry, what I do to them? No, I'm not an angry person. You just don't understand me. But they was telling the truth, but I just didn't want to embrace it, because the reason I was angry because my mama wasn't there. So you figure, my birthday, I wanted to call you on my birthday many years. I called you, didn't know the number. Just to say, Mama, today my birthday, just to hear you say happy birthday. It's times that I used to call you and say, want to tell you Merry Christmas, ain't the same because my mama ain't there. So it's affected me, because you made my birthday like a holiday. The last birthday I spent with you, I can tell you what you did for me. You don't remember.
What did I do?
So my last birthday, you took me out to skating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went skating at Skate King. You had a party at the house. You brought me those new red, white, and blue Huaraches, and you had bought me a gold necklace. That's the last birthday. I held on to those shoes so I couldn't even fit them no more. And then when we moved, I wound up having to throw them away. Once they got too little, I just put them right back in the box under my bed. So it's a lot of things that when you wasn't there affecting me. So what I had to do, when I got a girlfriend, I felt like, all right, well, they gonna leave me anyway. So why actually try to be a good boyfriend to them? Only thing they gonna do is gonna leave me. So I used to have so much anger. Well, every woman gonna leave me like my mama did, just because I didn't know the full truth of everything. So I like hell with women. I got what I wanted from them. If I had relations with them and conversation with them, I got what filled the void for the time being. On to the next one. And then now I'm back to this point right now. I got my mama back. So what's the point of searching for a relationship or searching for a bond with somebody? I'm complete now.
Yes, God is good.
So, yes, it affected you, but it affected all of us.
Well, yeah, I knew it affected y'all, and I couldn't talk to you all and ask, how did y'all feel without me being in y'all life? I just thank God that the truth came out and that God is able to do all things but fail. Without the little bit of spiritual knowledge that y'all kept as a child, it played a part because, it was so many times I used to just lay in the bed and think, my kids gonna hate me, or, they don't love me. And it made me so bitter to where I didn't even like being around people that had kids because I didn't think it was fair for them to have their kids and I couldn't even have mine. Mother Day come around, I didn't get a phone call. Christmas, nothing. My birthday, nothing. And it hurted. Even when y'all was to an age to have your own cell phones, you couldn't call. It hurted, but I never blamed y'all for not, want to talk to me, not want to come and see me, because y'all was living in a situation to where, if they found out y'all snuck and called me, y'all had some repercussions to deal with. And I didn't want to be the blame of, oh, mama, we reached out to you, so now we got to get our ass whooped. I didn't want that burden on
you. Yeah, but even that you try to run from it, it still happened. Because how we try to get programmed, I'm going to say programmed, whoever listens to this don't like it, I'm grown now, kiss my ass. Send in Jesus' name. That's how I'm going to have to tell them. But whoever don't like it don't have to like it. It was points of time that they was like, oh, your mama didn't do anything for you, so I'm the only mama you got. Hell with that. If that's the case, I don't need no mom. I had a dad, but a part of that time too. Hell with that too. I'm my own man. So with this whole situation, I hated everybody. I hated because my daddy ain't give me the answers what I wanted to know. I hated you because you ain't wanted to be there. I hated my stepmom because, she tried to make the whole own picture of everything. So I'm like, hell with everybody. So I literally went on a wild trip. That any person who tried to tell me something, I'm like, you couldn't tell me nothing. You don't know what I've been through. You haven't experienced the hurt and the pain that I've been through. So when somebody say, I do understand, no, the hell you don't, because I'm answering these questions. Was your mom there? Yes, my mom was there. Well, stop talking to me, because my mom wasn't. So you don't know what it's like. Well, my dad wasn't there, but that's not the problem I'm having, that my dad not being there. The problem I'm having is my mom's not there. So I ask people again, who you live with? My mom? Exactly. Stop talking to me. And people, I understand that it hurts because my dad, that's not the pain I'm having. Mm-hmm. Because let your mom die or your mom be out your life. Then come and have a conversation with me on how you feeling. Until that happen, don't talk to me and tell me you understand. Because you don't understand the feelings and the void I'm having. The emptiness I'm dealing with day to day. You figure, it's a lot of things I didn't do in my life because you wasn't there. I ain't go to prom. I went to homecoming. Just because I played in that football game the next day. And if I had a couple touchdowns, I'm in the thing dug in. I'm the star. Cool. Prom, didn't do that. You wasn't there. I didn't graduate. I graduated, but I didn't go to my graduation. I was in Jefferson City with you the day I graduated. Yeah. Sitting at the kitchen table, watching Whitney Williams on TV.
On the day everybody walking across the stage. Because I'm like, okay, my mom couldn't be there because all the controversy situation she's going to be in, I'm not going to be there. So, you know, there's a lot of ways that I've been affected. You figure even when I got married, you know, none of my parents was there. Because I knew it wasn't going to be a comfortable situation. I ain't have my daddy be there. When I did ask him to be there, what happened? Oh, I got to work. Dang, nigga, there's something good in my life. You can't miss $25, $30 an hour to see your son marry somebody you care for? You know, I understand your situation. So what happened? Neither one of y'all was there, and I asked my auntie. Because you wasn't going to be there. I wasn't going to have my daddy be there. He was there for too many things. So it still affected me. Now since I'm married, and as a man, preaching and doing my walk with God, stuff still affect me. Because you there, but then now I got the emptiness of my daddy not being there. So now I'm like, hell with it. Who support me, support me. Who don't. So it's like everything I'm going through, it's like a tug of war. I'm tugging to keep my mama here. But then I'm going to let go because I don't care if my daddy here no more. But then you figure I'm going to lose one of the battles, but then I might be in the middle stuck, unhappy in both of them. So I'm like, well, why keep trying? That's why it's hard for me sometimes to be consistent on anything because I didn't have a consistent start.
But you can't allow that to be your stumbling block no more because you're older and you have God back in your life. So you can't no longer have that as your excuse, buddy. Because sometimes people is in your life for a season, for a lifetime, and just for a little while. So with that being said, you know, everybody is not going to ride on a journey with you. They either ride with you or they get left. And sometimes
and I understand
you just have
that.
to leave them where
And
they
I
at.
understand that. Though, but the most important person to me, I had a ride without her. And that's you.
Yeah, but
You know how long that ride I was? What, 5, 6 years? That's a lot of traveling I did without you. That's a lot of guidance from a woman's standpoint, an aspect that I didn't have.
yeah,
I had to date a girl, well, a lot of girls, and they mother tell me, all right, look, this is what you need to do in relationships. Hell with that, you ain't my mama, don't tell me nothing.
mm-hmm.
Then I had to literally sit back and think, like, okay, well, with all these women telling me, what can I stick with, what I can't? You know what I stuck with?
What?
Not a damn thing.
And I believe it.
Because now you back in my life, you telling me something, and I still got my guard up. Like, mama, I listen to you, I love you and all, but when you go say I'm tired of trying to discipline you, Landon, as a grown man, and stop talking to me again. But I know that's not what was going to happen. But there still stuff goes in my head because empty voids, and like you can relate, right?
I
'Cause-
can.
okay,
And at the same time, all of that from your past, you have to let it go because it's a past for a reason. Either you allow your past to be your stepping stone or you allow your past to be your stumbling block. It happened. We can't do nothing about it but to move forward. And you know, and I know that the reason I was out of your life is it was out of my control. It wasn't that I woke up and say, you know what, I don't want my kids no more.
Yeah, but I'm not. I hate literally every holiday. I even hate celebrating my birthday.
I said that.
And then when you was taking your mama to the bathroom and you hit her leg and she started crying, and you said you never got the chance to tell her you sorry, or never got the chance to tell her you love her again, or never got the chance to kiss her one more time. That's the same void I was dealing with when you wasn't there. I didn't have the chance to wake up in the room, mama, look at my good grades. I didn't have the time to go in the room to say, mama, good night. So yes, I know your mom is deceased, but at the same time, I didn't know when I was going to see you again, so it's kind of the same feelings that you can relate. Yes, you had your dad there, I had my dad there, but it was still that empty void when your mom wasn't there. Because you told me what, your mom died when you was what, 14?
Mm-hmm.
My mama left when I was 13 and a half. So almost 14 years old. Yes, you ain't gonna never see your mom again. Yes, it was a long period of time that I didn't see you, so we can relate. So now that relationship that you didn't have with your mom and the relationship that I didn't have with my mom, yes, we here now, and that's why we talking about on the podcast. So if anybody understand of the hurt and pain that I've been through, It's you. So that's why I had to get on this podcast today and talk to you about it. Because a lot of people told me in my life that they understand everything's going to be okay. Hell with that. It's not going to be okay. But now, since I gave my life to God, you helped me with my spiritual walk. Yes, things going to be okay. But the people who say they know me, and oh yeah, Landon, you just an angry person. People, because you from the hood. Hell with that. The hood ain't do nothing besides turn me down to make me to a monster. But God stripped me down like Job, and then He put me in a new robe.
All right.
So that's why, you know, saying this journey I'm on, I had to do this podcast with you, so people know that even though you my mother, we live a similar life.
Yeah, I always told you that. You know, we the same difference. You've been through a lot that I've been through. We share some of the same stories, but what makes them different is that you, and I, me. And that's why I always try to encourage you, you know, when you was at your lowest, that it's a way to be built back up. And I can recall that when you used to be so angry, you didn't listen to females like you said. You didn't even listen to me. And I used to tell some of your girlfriends, look, he don't even listen to his own mama, so what you saying is so irrelevant, you know. Yeah. But I just thank God for transformation. You know, we couldn't do this without God. And so I give God the glory right now. You know, I can remember when you told me that you lost your best friend, that I was your best friend. And I remember crying. And I remember one night you sent me that Jamie Foxx song, I Wish You Was Here. And I was on the phone with Angie. And I listened to the song and I'm like, Angie, I got to go. She was like, well, you okay? I'm like, Landon just sent me this song. And I played it over and over and over and over and over and over. And every time I listened to it, I cried harder and harder. And I'm like, Lord, oh my God. I can remember just saying those exact words, just laying in my bed. And I say, oh my God, Lord, this song, I never heard this song. And I cried and I just thought about your walk and, you know, the times when I was out your life, when you needed me the most, I wasn't there. And I'm like, Lord, why would He send me this song? I'm like, don't He know this was going to make me cry? And I just cried, and you had called me. You was like, what's the matter? And I was all choked up like I am now. And I was trying to tell you the song, you know, it just, I don't know, but I can say that I do love you, and I would always love you. You know, I just thank God for you. You know, I truly thank God for you. And I can remember, you know, I can only just share things when you was little all the way up into 12, you know, those memories of when we did have good times together, how we used to sing church songs together. And
what's one of the songs we used to sing?
God is a good God.
Yes, He is.
And I say you coming in a little too slow and stuff like that. And we used to sing it, and you would get into it, and you know, enjoy. And when you tried to rap, and I was trying to tell you had to have a concept. Rap tells a story, you know, because you want to be a rapper when you was growing up and stuff like that. And now, you know, I think you turned out really good. You know. It was times when you would be so angry and I tell you something that was the truth and you'll hang up the phone and I would cry about it like, he just don't know. And I can recall that my first time ever experienced an anxiety attack was you said something and I was at Tammy's house and you said, I'm finna come down there and shoot you. Man. Oh my gosh. I thought I was dying because
dang,
my heart got to pumping fast and I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. My son want to kill me. You know, that was the first time I ever experienced an anxiety attack. I tried to go to sleep that night and I stopped breathing and I'm gas for her. I'm like, oh Lord, just breathe through me. But you just don't know, child. Yeah.
So would you say I was a troubled child?
I can say you was not per se troubled child, but you was a child with issues, anger issues, even when you was a little boy. you had some anger issues, and that I used to ask God, Lord, why? Because I can remember your first day in kindergarten. We had to go up to the school to get you. And I never understood why you were so angry, because everybody loved you. You were so loved.
I wasn't
You
angry. I was misunderstood.
Yeah, you was misunderstood. You right. You right.
Yeah, they just misunderstood me.
You right. You was misunderstood. And it's just like one of the proudest moments I can share with the world is the day when you gave your message at Cornerstone Institutional Baptist Church, and when I had to introduce you. And
so you was like this: Landon Prater, preach the word. Landon Prater, preach the word. So it's kind of like on the Ricky Smiley show. On the high end, we say Landon. Low end, we say preach the word.
Yes. And I was so proud. I mean, just to be able to witness it, to be able to live and see it, because I always knew that, you know, I wouldn't live long enough to see you all grow up and have family. And I just thank God that, you know, he let me live to see this.
But you seen more than that though, because you seen me do my sermon at Bishop Thomas Church.
I have.
You seen it at Cornerstone.
I have.
Tomorrow, a lot of people don't know, you're gonna see me get baptized as an adult.
Yes.
You're going to see me do sermons at City of Life.
Oh yes.
You hear my podcasts.
Yes.
They about to see my documentary.
All right.
That's just some of the things. They don't know about the August book bag giveaway, and I'm putting together.
All right.
So just some of the things that God put you back in my life to see and to help me put together.
Oh yes. God is awesome. He's wonderful, and I thank God that we talk several times a day and everything. You know, we have a wonderful mother-son relationship, and I won't trade nothing in. You know, things had to happen the way they happened in order for us to get to where we're at today. And so I believe that if things wouldn't have happened like they did, it's no telling where our relationship would be. You know, the years apart, it made me stronger. It made me to endure. It made me to trust God the more. It made me have faith in him the more. It made me believe that when the world say this can happen, and the Jesus I believe in say that it can. So I thank God for being my solid rock, even though in my weakest hours, he was still right there to collect my tears. It was not a day that went by that I didn't pray for you all. You know, I had the whole church praying for you. I told my story, and everybody was saying the same thing. Oh, your kid's going to come back in your life. You know, I didn't know it was going to take those many years, but I had to believe it, because if everybody's saying the same thing, apparently it must be some truth to it.
Confirmation.
And so, your transformation is beautiful. God molded you to one of the wonderful young men that, you know, I know, because I know your walk. I know where you came from, and I know where you been, but I don't know where you're going. But only thing I can say to you is that only way you can, I know your journey is going to just take you higher and higher, you know, long as you continue to keep Christ in your life, you know. And I just thank God that, you know, I finally know some of the things that you've been through during our separation. You know, some of it you shared with me, and a lot of it today I didn't know. You know, the hurt that you've been through, things that affected you the most of me being out your life. I knew you was angry because I was out your life, but I just didn't know the impact until today. So I thank God that he allowed us to do this. You know, our story may touch somebody else that's going through similarities, not the same, but similarities. And we hope that this podcast would help you, you know, stand on God's word. Be like a tree, because a tree is rooted and it stands against some of the toughest storms in life. You know, I'm just proud. You know, I'm full of tears. Some of them is sad tears because of the past he had, and most of my tears is full of joy because we know that God is able, and we know that without Him we're nothing, and we can't even breathe on our own if He didn't allow His breath to breathe through us.
That's true. That's true. But you know, like they also say, this too shall pass. You
And
know,
it passed.
and there's a lot of things will pass. You know, it's a lot of time will pass that we can't get back. There's a lot of time will pass that we got to make the best of it.
Yes.
So also is a time to forgive,
Oh yes.
and this a time to live.
Yeah.
You know, they also say you can forgive, but you can't forget. But in a situation like this, we got to do both, so we can constantly keep moving on. You know, it's kind of like when I did my sermon, you know, of Ecclesiastes. You know, it's a time to live, it's a time to die, time to uproot. We got to kind of do all of that.
Oh yes. On a
And,
daily
you know,
basis.
If I keep holding on all the hurt and pain over the years, I'm never going to have growth. I'm going to be stuck to where I'm at. You know, from me being locked up, from me being on the streets doing stupid things. If I let all this stuff hinder me, I'm not going to accept my blessings.
Exactly.
And, you know, one of the blessings I have to accept is you back in my life.
Yes.
You know, because how, you know, when you got cancer, you couldn't be here. You know, as many times I could have got shot or car accidents. So it's a blessing for both of us. So now we just got to embrace it. We got to love each other. We got to constantly spread the positivity. We got to let other people go into a similar situation, you know, that you can fix it. You know, because there's a lot of situations I've been in like this. I haven't been a perfect person. You know, it had affected me being, you know, a father to my kids.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Hell with it. My mom wasn't there, so why do I need to be there for my kids? But now since you back, you know, it's starting molding me to be a better father. You know, now it's starting to have me step up to the roles that I need to be in. So with leadership. So there's a lot of things that, you know, with you back in my life, more things are getting better. And there's a lot of things I had to let go. If I had to let go from me thinking that you were a victim and start looking at you as an asset, you know, because wisdom can come from a blind man, a homeless person. And every time you talk to me, it's always godly, it's wisdom, it's encouragement, it's motivation, and it got love in it. So that's the things that we have to express to people too. Is like, okay, love each other.
Oh yes.
You know, keep your enemy close and your enemies closer. But at the same time, I'm not trying to say you an enemy. What I'm just trying to say, you never know who might have a big impact in your life out of how many other years go past. So I just want to thank you for having, you know what I'm saying, impact on me no matter what. And you just don't know that.
Okay. Y'all finna end.
Yeah.
On the count of three, Landon, I want you to say, before y'all get done, I want you to say son love on the count of three. At the same time, and I want you to say mother love, but it gotta be on the count of three.
Count of three.
Just let me know when you're ready.
All right. Well, go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Mother love.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So y'all know how we gonna have to wrap this things up. This is your boy Landon coming from Television Talented, and y'all already know that we had to come with another banging exclusive video with my mother today, and we got her. You know, I love her, and I want to say thank you for being on this podcast with me today, because there's a lot of information that people can get from us. And as you always know that I love you, God loves you, Television Talented love you. Then never stop putting God first. If you want to leave in blindness, always be led with God. I love you. Talk to you later on the next one.